Harley Kid, I'm just buying time before we have to talk about our Cowboys who lost to the Eagles 26-17. Um, some bad things. McCarthy not reviewing the spot on the first down and then hurrying up to bootleg the slow-footed Cooper Rush. That was bad. Fowler jumping off sides, leading to a touchdown versus what would have been a field goal on a play they weren't even going to snap the ball. That was bad. The fact that the Eagles beat us with 268 total yards, that sucks. But I'm going to be positive here, Parlay Kid. I'm happy we're 4-2. They gave us a little tease, but it's definitely better than the 2-4 I expected after Dak went down. Bigger than Philly than it was for us. 2017, that drive by the Eagles was a monster. But again, overall satisfied with the performance and that we're 4-2. If we could hold on against the Lions and Bears and be 6-2 going into the bye.
Well, that's exactly what it is, son. You hit on some of those points, and obviously we shot ourselves, and the Cowboys shot themselves in the foot yesterday a couple times. I do think I'm very satisfied with the 4-2 record. I do think the Cowboys fans, at least on social media, really been a little like, oh, I'm not worried now about the Eagles. We only lost to them by 9. Our backup quarterback threw 3 picks, blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. I don't really buy that because I thought when the Eagles needed to be good last night, they were good. When they needed to come out strong, they did. And when we made it 2017, Sal, they rammed the ball down the Cowboys' throat yesterday when they needed to. And the Cowboys could do nothing about it. And their defense is really good. Mm-hmm. But they just that one drive was super impressive to me when they needed it. So when the Eagles needed to be good yesterday, they were good. To me, there was no moral victory for the Cowboys yesterday. But I think that there's being 4-2, we'll take it, right? So I wasn't thrilled with yesterday, but I would assume the Cowboys feel like they can play with the Eagles once Dak is back. But like you said, I think the biggest point you're making is these next 2 games are must-win for the Cowboys in my book. They have to win against the Lions at home and against the Bears at home. Must-wins, and then you can feel really good about this team at that point, Sal.
Yeah, for sure with you. Yes, don't let Jared Goff, don't let Fields – although I don't know who's a good quarterback anymore. Honestly, you look at the quarterbacks that get wins, and Mariota's – we'll go over all these games, but 13 for 14. Bri, you're giggling back there, but you were a big loser with the we all had the Cowboys plus the points, and so that missed field goal at the end was a killer. Could have been 26-20. You bought it to 7, or maybe it was 7 on Caesars. A lot of people had 6.5. Or
it was 7 when I got it. It was 7 when I got it. Are we doing BETaches already? Jeez, are we doing
could get there. Yeah, all right. We'll talk about that in a second. Harry, can I entice you on 5-1 to win the division for the Cowboys? 6-2. If we're 6-2,
you can,
and you have 5-1
a little
odds?
bit, because like you guys just mentioned, I mean, the 3 picks, the mistakes, still only lost by 9. And this defense of Dallas is still very, very good. Just yesterday, whatever, they weren't the greatest yesterday, but on the road, night game, one of those things. I still think their defense is very good.
268 yards, probably 200 yards before that drive that Parlay Kid started.
Defense is great still. But I did give Philly. I was the only one who gave up Philly for the division, so I'm still obviously on Philly.
Wait, I gave out Philly for the division? What are you talking about?
You did? Oh, yeah, okay.
Harry wants credit, sole credit for everything since that win, everything.
Dallas at 5-1 is enticing, but I'm still obviously rolling with
all right. We still play them at home. I know they got a 2-game lead, but let's see what happens. All right, I'm definitely okay with this team making the playoffs. This is, I don't know, especially looking at these other teams. All right, listen, whatever you're betting, teasers, over, under, do it through Caesars because they have all the names. Caesar himself, Cleo, the Mannings, Henrik Lundqvist, and now yours truly. Yes, Against All Odds is now a proud member of the Caesars empire. And you know what it is that sets Caesars Sportsbook and Casino apart from the others? It's the perks. It's the only sports betting app with Caesars rewards, so every time you place a bet, win or lose, you get reward credits, which get used towards game tickets, bonuses, experience, free stays at iconic Caesars destinations, and more. And your very first bet, check this out, Harry. It's on Caesars. Up to $1,250. If you win, congrats. If you don't, you'll get it all back as a free bet. That first bet also gives you 1,000 tier credits and 1,000 reward credits, putting you closer to the types of perks only Caesars can offer. So download the app, use promo code CZRFULL, and go full Caesars this season. All right now it's time to deep dive into the collectively crushed soul of the degenerate trifecta in a segment we hate to call BETaches. Mine's easy, Oklahoma State. And when am I going to learn with this team, Brother Brian? When am I going to learn?
Stop. You got to stop. I don't know why you even touch these games. You keep. You had said for years, like there was a stretch where I felt like you actually really didn't bet them, maybe for a year, maybe
there
for
was.
a year.
It was
but
many years.
You just go right back to them. You just go right back to them. It just.
So, yeah, the Cooper Rush, who was it? Mason Rudolph. It's a long story. It's in my book. Central Michigan, Oklahoma State, up 4 with the ball, 4 seconds left. Oklahoma State can't win the game. You'll never see that again. So I swore I wouldn't bet them again. And then recently they played Central Michigan. I'm like, well, I have to play. It's been 5 years. I have to do it again. I think I won with them. And then this is the second time I bet them since. Over TCU, I live bet them on a parlay. Of course, the rest of the legs won. They're up 7 in the third. Then they're up 30-16 in the fourth. They give up a touchdown to make it 30-23. Oklahoma State had them pinned inside the 5 twice in the fourth quarter. And somehow TCU ties it up. They trade touchdowns in overtime. Field goal for Oak State. Touchdown, Horned Frogs. I'm done. There you go. Once again. I'm got to be off them again. Got to be off them again, Brian.
And Oklahoma State covered, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they covered. I didn't even see the line, the regular line.
Yeah.
Stupid team.
Yeah.
Stupid 30-16 in the fourth.
I'll be honest. They've killed me my whole life too, and I loved them in that game. I'm glad I did not bet it. I was going to take the money line. I actually stayed away from it.
Well, but you did take the Cowboys.
I took the Cowboys. I will say so many crappy losses for me this weekend. But the Cowboys, to me, biggest swing. You know, we talked about it. I had them +7. Now, I will say, I thought I was done with that game early on, so I kind of I was lucky to get back into that. But Cooper Rush misses that potential huge play on the second to last drive. It wasn't his fault. He was getting hit, but they had, I don't know if was that Lamb that was maybe potentially wide open down the sideline. But the defense steps up. They get the ball back. They get down to the 41, but 3 straight incomplete passes. They said, I'm happy at this point because they are kicking the field goal at least. They're not trying for the touchdown. Marr misses the 58-yard field goal, and I have another Brother Bride 2K swing for the weekend. But, you know,
Bride 2K.
Bride 2K. I will say, though, that one didn't hurt as much as I had Notre Dame all over the place, too. And I just that was the last leg of a parlay, and I just assumed like that was going to win. I never was in doubt until all of a sudden, like even when they were losing early, I was like, they're going to win this game. And that was just, that's a terrible, terrible loss.
Eddie didn't want to hear from her, by the way. I think it might have been an intoxicated Megan Morant going after him. She had Notre Dame on a money line parlay, and she was going off on Eddie. Like it's his fault.
Was that because Eddie wasn't watching the game?
Well, he wasn't watching. He was at a wedding watching the Yankees, but she went off, and he was like, "Are you okay?" He was like getting mad. We'll have to talk to him about that later. He was mad. All right, Bri 2K. Now I'm thinking now it's just Bri 2K, like Y2K, but Bri 2K. I know there's so much to do with this. All right, Parlay Kid, what'd you like?
Yes, I know what you're saying with Oklahoma State. That's my big college bet this year to get them over 8.5 wins. And with the win there, I think it would have almost sealed my fate with that pick. Now it's, I still think they are in good position to go over the 8.5. But that certainly would have made my life a lot easier if they won that. So I get you with that. Look, I had Yankees game 3 the other night.
Oh, they were never in that game.
Oh, man. And, I was traveling, so I really listened to the whole game in the car. So it's even tougher when you're you can't really see exactly what's going on. And it's, obviously, look, it was a tough loss. The Yankees, I think it was, I don't know if they had won 178 straight games when they had a 2+ run lead going into.
That was great.
Like a playoff game going into like the 9th or something like that. It's some ridiculous stat. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Was I right when I said that? Mm-hmm. And of course, let's face it. Cleveland there's some cheap hits in there. To their credit, that's what they do. They put the bat on the ball. A couple bloopers, some managerial question marks by Boone as usual.
They call those Jeters, by the way. They call those Jeters.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, sure they do. Okay.
Darren's very nervous. It was 167 games.
167. Yeah, so I lost that. That was so 167. I happen to have the game where they lose. So what were the odds of that, Sal? I mean, come on, give me a break. And then they actually almost got out of it down to their last strike.
Right.
And again, I'm like got my wife in the car. She could not care any less about what was happening. But I'm like, all right, one more strike here. That's all we need, and we're winning the series. And pitch probably wasn't even a strike. Actually, guy made a great at bat, hit the ball, and that was it. So that stunk. That one hurt.
You know what hurts like that all Saturday. There was, if you wanted to park yourself in front of a TV and just flip back and forth, there wasn't 10 seconds of drama-free sports. Really between UFC and boxing, and I'm listing the lesser ones first.
Yeah, well,
college football, baseball, right? It was just amazing through and through. I mean,
how do people not like sports?
7 hours.
How do people not like it? Like how do people live a life?
Yeah.
Without the sports, it doesn't make sense to me.
Here's another thing. How do people bet on sports? Why do we have to do that? I could have sat there all day and been entertained and not have to lose $1,000. I could have done it the whole way.
Did you just say $100,000?
I covered my mic. I don't know what it. No, I wish it was 100. No. So that's that.